Good afternoon. My name is Elizabeth Lopez. Today is March 15th, 1794, and today I will be interviewing a number of witnesses from both London and Paris in regards to the French Revolution. Tell me about yourself.
I'm a French nobleman. I'm the only aristocrat, and I seem to be the only one with the only conscience. I left my land and my inheritance. So I left my land and inheritance, and I set up a shop in France. Or no, actually it's in London, and I'm a French tutor, and I just started my life over as Charles Darnay.
Are you married?
Yes, my wife is Lucy Manette,
How old are you?
25 years old.
How many times have you been tried in court?
About 3 times.
What were you accused of?
First, I was accused of being a traitor for the English crown, and then I was accused of being, then I was also accused of being like a French acoustic Republican or aristocrat Republican. The last one was I was accused of the same thing in France as like the last thing I said.
So how did you get out of your 3 court cases?
Well, the first trial I got out because Sidney Carton helped me get out of that one, and then so in the second one Dr. Manette got me out of that trial because he used his influence to free me in France. And then the third trial, we all know what happened. Me and Carton switched places, and then
How did you feel after the first trial?
after the first trial, I felt like I got a new lease on life. I felt like a new person, and like after that, me and Sidney Carton kind of made a friendship, and some people say that we look alike, but I really don't see the like similarities in that. So yeah.
What is the relationship like between you and your uncles?
Between me and my uncles, well, I don't associate with them at all. I don't really stand for what they like believe in. Like they treat peasants like they shouldn't be treated, and I just feel like they should be treated way better than how they're treated by my uncles. So they don't really believe in like the peasants and all that. I'm innocent, and even though like people don't think I am innocent, but like by association.
So you changed your last name, right? It wasn't originally Darnay?
No, it was Evermonde. Like I said before, I despise that name because it's like a family name of mine. Like it like pretty much resembles my uncle's and everything. So like I really don't go with that name. But yeah, so I changed it to like something equivalent to like my mother's name. So I just chose Darnay. So my name is Darnay.
How long did you hide your identity from your fiance and father-in-law?
Well, I told Dr. Manette, and like surprisingly, he like knew that I was hiding my identity all along. But yeah.
So he knew the entire time you were in Evermond?
Yep. He always knew for some reason. I didn't know how, but
Why do you think Dr. Manette never said anything about him knowing your true identity?
because if I asked Dr. Manette about like if he knew about it, he would have to confront me about his life too, like his past, and I feel like he wouldn't want to talk about it. So like he never confronted me about it, but he always knew all along that like my name was like Evermond instead of Darnay.
Before you told them about your last name not being your actual last name, what did they think about your court cases? What did they think like you were being charged for?
So they just thought I was in the wrong place at the wrong time, but I'm just a French tutor. That's it.
What did you do when you heard your friend and servant Gabelle was imprisoned by the revolutionaries?
I went back to France to rescue him, and I took my wife and my daughter as well with me, and that probably wasn't the best idea.
How do you see Carton?
Well, I don't see him the way my wife sees him, Lucy, and I just feel like I don't really see anything different. I just see like he's just Carton, and like he just drinks too much. That's it.
Tell us a little bit about yourself.
I'm 25. Some may say I'm brilliant, some may say I'm intelligent, some may say I'm attractive, but I don't know, I guess I don't have it all in life. I obviously drink, I'm an alcoholic, and I was orphaned at a young age. I like, during school I would do other students' homework because like I really didn't have anything else to do with my life. I was just an orphan.
How do you feel about working with Stryver?
Alright, there's no doubt that he's an all-around jerk, but I'm the brains behind his prawn, and I wouldn't leave his side.
So what do you do most of your nights?
Most of my nights, I usually just walk around London or like pace around the streets of London, or like pace around like where Lucy lives. But like not a creep or anything. Like I'm not a creep, but like cause like mostly I just drink all the time. Like, but yeah.
So why are you so unhappy all the time?
Well, I live in my head, and I'm convinced that I'm unhappy, and like most people think I'm like eating myself up inside, but I'm really not. It's as simple as that. Most people just think I'm eating myself up inside, but yeah, I don't really see that at all. I just see myself being honest with myself. I'm just a disappointed drudge. I don't care for no man on earth, and no man on earth cares for me.
Why do you think you and Charles are similar people, like characteristics or anything?
Well, we look like, so we physically have characteristics, yes, but we're just both the same people. We both have like, we're both smart. We're both like good people, but obviously Charles got the good side of the stick, and obviously I got the bad side because look at how I am. But he got Lucy, and I died so they could be together, and like it's crazy because like we both have similar traits, but we both had different fates.
So can you tell us how you got Charles out of his first trial?
Well, what I seen that like me and him looked alike, so like so I just used like the resemblance to get both of us out of or to get him at least out of the trial.
Why did you change places with Charles Darnay in France?
Well, the thing is like we didn't like agree on like changing places or anything. I didn't tell him like, oh, like let's change places. I drugged him up, and I took his place on the guillotine, and like I did it because I love Lucy so much that I'd do anything for her, and like if that makes her happy, then it makes me happy too. So I sacrificed my life instead of Charles sacrificing his life for Lucy.
It takes a lot to risk your life for someone you love.
Yeah, but I didn't really like, my life was like miserable. There wasn't anything to live for, right? So I just like, it wasn't really anything for me to sacrifice my life for Lucy.
So you're a firm believer in Christ, right?
Yes, I am. The night before I died, I was pacing the streets of Paris muttering, I am the resurrection, the life, saith Lord, he that believeth in me, though he were dead, yet shall he live. Whoever liveth and believeth in me shall never die. And I just said that because like Christ really like sacrificed his life for others. So like since I was gonna be doing the same for Lucy, I just thought like it'd be nice if I could just say that last quote before I died.
Good afternoon. What is your name and how old are you?
My name is Lucy Minute and I'm 18 years old.
Do you have any nicknames?
I sometimes get called Lady Bird, but only by Miss Pross.
Who is Miss Pross?
Miss Pross is my no-nonsense governess and best friend.
What was the most difficult age in your life?
When I was 18, because I moved in with Alexander Minette, my father.
Where do you live?
Soho, London.
Where did you first meet your father, Dr. Minette?
When I traveled to Paris with Mr. Laurie, he was at Monsieur Defarge's wine shop, hunched over a workbench.
Do you have a significant other in your life?
Yes, I am married to Charles Darnay.
What is your favorite memory of Charles?
When my father fell ill on the boat and he saved him.
What was the most difficult time with you with Charles?
The hardest time was in 1780. My father and I were called to testify in my husband's trial. They called me to testify, but I couldn't say anything to incriminate my husband. Another extremely difficult time was finding out my husband had been arrested.
What's your opinion on Sidney Carton?
He was friends with my husband, and we had a deep conversation when he was sailing down, and he kissed my hand and just confessed his love for me and said he'd die for me. But it was kind of awkward. But now I feel bad because he died to protect my husband, child, and I from being beheaded.
What was your most heartbreaking moment?
It would be when I heard Charles would be sentenced to death.
What was your relationship like with your mother?
When I was younger, my mother lied to me. She said my father had died. I think she did it to protect me from knowing my father was in a secret prison, but I think it was wrong for saying my father had died.
Well, thank you so much for coming, Lucy. It was great having you.
Thank you for having me.
Hello, what is your name and what do you do for a living?
My name is Madame Therese Defarge, and I own a wine shop with my husband.
Where do you live?
I live in the poor neighborhood of Saint Antoine in Paris.
Why do you hate the Ebermond brothers?
The Evermond brothers raped my sister, which not only led to my sister's death and her unborn child, but also my brother, brother-in-law, and my father's death.
Who do you want revenge against?
Because of these tragedies, I want revenge against the Evermond brothers and the French aristocracy.
So why don't you like Charles Darnay?
Because he is the nephew of the Marquis Evermond.
But Charles doesn't associate with his uncles. He even changed his name because he doesn't approve of the way his uncle treats peasants.
I still don't like him or his family because of the way he treated my family and I.
Final question. So what are some of your hobbies?
I like to knit the name of the aristocrats I plan to send to the guillotine to be beheaded into my work.
Oh, thanks for coming.
My pleasure.
Hi, Mr. Manette. Thank you for coming today. It's nice to meet you. How did you get captured and sent to prison? One evening, I was walking home and two men, the Evermond brothers, stopped me and demanded I come with them to help two injured people on their property. Do you care to be recalled to life? I cannot say. So you used to be a doctor. Now what do you do? Now I make shoes. It helped me pass time when I was in prison, so now I do it to make a living. Where do you live now? I live in Soho with my daughter Lucy. Who helped you recover from your imprisonment? My daughter Lucy. Because of her, I found love in my heart again and will put her happiness before anything else. How do you serve both to save Charles Darnay and condemn him? I tried to get him released from prison, but at the same time, I had a lot of anger and wrote a letter denouncing Charles and his family, which was the reason of Charles's execution.
Whoa, girl, we don't drink that much. 1800s, we don't got that to spare.
No,